Welcome back. If you're looking for something to add to your reading repertoire, we brought in the expert with some suggestions for you. As always, we are joined by Rona Brindley. She is the owner of the Neptune Beach BookMark. Great little place to go pick up a book and get a good recommendation while you're there. It's good to see you.
It's good to be here as always, and there's always something new and wonderful out there.
And you probably already have read it, right? Was that your week? This is just your weekend reading list. Just this.
I don't know about that, but you know, it's great because every day is like, you know, a party for us. We get new books every single day, so
that's fun.
We never run out of good stuff to read.
So good stuff. Let's start with the new stuff, all the way to the right.
Okay, the new stuff. This is Kristen Hanna, who did The Nightingale, that was so huge, about World War II and family relations. The Great Alone is a whole different war. This is the Vietnam War, so it's the 1970s, and a man comes home suffering from PTSD, and to think that he can heal, he takes his whole family to Alaska and decides to homestead. And it's much harsher than they think. So it's about him dealing with the war, family relations. His daughter has her first love, so there's all that going on. And it's set in the context of Alaska as a character in the 1970s. So you have the gas shortage, you have Watergate, and you have Patty Hearst, which has just been sort of revived. So all the things that are going on in the 70s. So you get a little bit history, like you always do with her.
Context to know what's going on with a good read also along the way. Okay.
I would say for some of us it's memory, for some people it's history.
It's history. A good point. Okay, depends on you're tipping your hat about when you were born. But what? Okay, what's the name of this again?
This is The Great Alone, because they're alone in Alaska, and it's really much more
like a great read.
Alone than you would think. This one, it actually isn't the book. It will be hardcover. It doesn't come out till tomorrow, so I brought the advance copy. Amy Bloom is one of those authors who just is exquisite, not always cheerful, but exquisite. She wrote Away, and this book is called The White Houses, and it's houses intentionally because it's set during the time of FDR, and it's the story of Eleanor Roosevelt and Lorena Hickok, who was a reporter for the White House, and then Eleanor and Hick, as they called her, formed an amazing friendship. It's unclear. Some people say it's a love story, which is what Amy Bloom talks about, or just a really intense kind of a friendship. And it gives you, again, a sense of that time period. And the incredible thing about this book, and the two houses are, there's a country White House, and then there's obviously the White House on Pennsylvania Avenue. You know, Eleanor Roosevelt is such an iconic, huge, larger-than-life kind of figure in our consciousness. And Hick narrates this story, and she takes center stage. That's a lot to do, to steal center stage from somebody as, you know, big and in life as Eleanor Roosevelt. And
does it give perspective into Eleanor Roosevelt's life? It does. And her stories, an insider's perspective?
It does. It gives perspectives inside the White House, and it gives perspective on her marriage to FDR and the arrangements they've made. It was sort of an arranged kind of a marriage in those days. And what was going on at the time, and the different players, you know, so it's sort of always timely to see what the players were at different points in history. So it doesn't change that much at different time. Palace intrigue, same stories, different time period.
Okay.
You know, so.
All right, maybe you can make some parallels to today. Who knows?
I don't know.
What's next?
Oh, this is really cool. The Woman in the Window by A.J. Finn, only it's not A.J. Finn, I'll tell you. Woman in the Window is kind of a combination of Girl on the Train, in that the narrator is agoraphobic, and she's not leaving the house, and she drinks a lot. So that's the Girl on the Train part. And Rear Window, where you sit by the window, Jimmy Stewart sits by the window and watches through a camera lens what's going on across the way, and that's what she's doing. And then you see obviously something awful and horrific, and what are you going to do about that? And the story about A.J. Finn is, he's not A.J. Finn, he's actually an editor for a major New York publishing house. And when he submitted his manuscript to his house, he took a week off because he thought his assistant would come in and say, please read this manuscript, and it would be his own. So
right, yeah.
He had to absent himself from the whole process and just quietly go, I'm going on vacation this week.
Yeah. Why don't you look, did he put his name on it or something?
No,
or no
it's all under the pseudonym of A.J. Finn, so that's what makes it so exciting. And it's shot to #1 on the New York Times bestseller list.
It sounds like a page turner. It is a page turner.
It is, just like, you know, it's very Hickok.
Right.
You know?
Didn't they make a movie out of the other Woman on the Train? Wasn't there a movie?
I think they did. Yeah. So you could watch that and Rear Window and read this, and then you could not sleep for nights.
Okay, perfect. I'm not sleeping now anyway.
So
you
might as well
throw that into the mix. Why not?
Might as well be doing something fun, right?
Exactly. Enjoying a good book. And then what's your
so
fourth
Love Found? I had to, you know, do an homage to Valentine's Day. You know, in addition to what you're giving up for Lent, you can, you know, have Valentine's Day. So this is classic love poem. So it's love for all ages and all stages, and it's familial love, it's passionate love, and young love, and old love, and different cultures. And I think the point is that Valentine's Day is a great day to give a gift, and really books are very personal because they match the
People
person.
put a lot of thought into what you're giving someone in the form of a book, whereas, you know, chocolates are great, and I'll eat anything, right? But chocolates, it's sweet, right? You can just consume it.
That's right.
You know, it's not, but the book, it's personal, like you said.
It is very personal, and I always say, you know, no calories in it lasts forever, although I see nothing wrong with chocolate and a good book.
There you go. Or you can do both.
Seems like a perfect day to me. All
one
things
special.
considered, staring at flowers, it's all perfect.
That's wonderful. Okay, so you have some people coming into your place, which is neat because a lot of authors like to stop by your place.
This is, you know, we've gotten really busy, so it's been really fun. But our first event is our HarperCollins sales rep, Eric, is going to come, and he does what's called book club night. He's going to talk about great books, either just to read or that would be good for book club, things that are discussable, that'll be available in paperback, and then he'll have prizes and giveaways. Everybody leaves with something wonderful, and we'll have, you know,
great
Prosecco or something festive.
Okay, well, you threw the Prosecco in there, so there's reason enough to come,
That's right?
And then
to
you got to
hook
have
you
the
in.
other reasons.
That's right. John Dufresne, who was a great fiction writer, he wrote Louisiana Power and Light, and he also teaches creative writing at Florida colleges, and flashes how to write the very short story. I think writing a short story is the hardest thing to do because you have to capture people's attention in like 40, 50 pages, build a character, tell a story, and have people care. This is within like 250 to 1,500 words, so it's like a micro, nano, tiny little story. And
so he teaches, how do you do that? How do you get the hook, as they say?
Yes, and the intensity in 250 words is a page.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's true. It's in journalism too. A lot of times you learn how can you write something that condenses. You know, I remember going, very quick story because we have the time. I went underway with the USS John F. Kennedy, which was the aircraft carrier.
Oh,
It
wow.
used to be based in Mayport, and they wanted me to describe their mission, everything that they were doing, in minute 30. And it was like, well, I'm trying, but to that point, it's just a challenge to try to get the good points in there to make it, you know.
It is a challenge. And, you know, they keep talking about our attention span is getting shorter and shorter, so maybe this is a way to get people captured, and if they want more, then they'll read longer things like a whole book.
There you go. Okay, and then the last two here.
Okay, The Ice House is Laura Lee Smith. She's a St. Augustine author. Her first book was Heart of Palm, set in St. Augustine. This one is inspired by the Ice House in St. Augustine, but it's actually set in Jacksonville. And it's about a family who owns an ice house, and things aren't going well. There's been an accident, so they may lose the house, and they're struggling with family dilemmas, you know, a distant child, health issues, everything, you know, family, right, all wrapped into one. And so it's kind of fun because you're in Jacksonville, so you know where you are.
The scene you can recognize with the
That's right,
setting.
so you feel that you're at home. And the last one, it will be paperback when she comes. I read this for the title. Hum, if you don't know the words, it's just such an amazing title, and it's South Africa. And a black woman ends up taking care of a white orphan, and they have to deal with the questions of racism and the preconceived notions that they have of each other.
Good deal. Thanks, Rona. Good to see you.
What fun.
Got to run.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. You can stop by Rona's place over at 2020 Neptune Beach, 2020 First Street in Neptune Beach, or you can visit her website at bookmarkbeach.com.